Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Rebekah if you haven't been here before. If you have been here before, don't forget to like and subscribe. Comment down below if you have any prayer requests or any comments about this video. So I just want to jump right into it. My last video was a little bit more heavy and emotional, but I wanted to be as real and raw and authentic as I can with you guys because there's a lot of power in sharing our testimony. And I also wanted to say thank you to all of you guys who messaged me over on Instagram, just saying thank you for sharing my testimony, saying you guys have very similar stories that I have as far as like a toxic relationship. Some of you talked about, your identity in Christ, recommitting your lives to the Lord. And you guys, that is, I could cry. That was like the one thing that was my reason, was to just reach one person. If I had to put myself out there, I was terrified. So if I had to put myself out there just to impact one person's life and show them the heart of God, totally worth it. So I'm really glad you guys enjoyed that video. If you haven't seen it, I'll link it down below and you guys should go ahead and take a look at that. I was super chatty in it, but that's my testimony. So for this video, I wanted it to be focused in a total different area. I have my notes right here to make sure I don't miss anything, but I want to talk to you guys about weddings. So for all my brides out there, or if you've gotten engaged recently or planning a wedding, I know it's a crazy time to be doing that. I am so thankful to say we got married just 3 months before the global pandemic happened. So I'm so thankful for that. So if you are in that season of engagement, I totally understand. So I wanted to come on here, not that I'm an expert or anything, but I have been through the wedding planning process. We were engaged for 14 months, which was super hard because, we're girls, we change our minds a lot. One day I wanted black for my bridesmaids dresses, and then a few weeks later I wanted blue, and it's just, we change our minds. I wanted my hair up, I wanted my hair down, I wanted my makeup this way, I wanted it that way. So I want to talk to you guys about my regrets about my wedding and things I would change. I don't know what I'm going to title this video. I don't know if it's necessarily in my top 5 regrets with my wedding, because I think I have more than 5 here. So I don't know what I'm going to title this video, but you guys will see. I'm not making this video and saying, my wedding was a big fat regret. It wasn't. I would relive that day and not change a thing over and over. But if I could change a few things, they would be these top 5. So the reason I'm making this is to help any of you out there who are thinking about the things I'm going to talk about. I'm hoping to help someone out there when planning their wedding with what I learned from already going through that season. So without further ado, let's jump right into it. So I have, I think, more than 5 because a couple of them fall into the same category. I don't know why I'm holding this pen. A couple of them fall into the same category. So I guess the first regret was like my look on my wedding day. So I wrote dress, hair, and makeup. That's 3 different things, but it kind of all falls under like how I looked. So I loved my wedding gown, you guys. I loved it. It was the story of how I found it. It was beautiful. Okay. I loved my gown, but I was the kind of girl who always envisioned my wedding day. I was planning my wedding since I was 5 years old, and I always envisioned myself with full length sleeves that were lace sleeves all the way down to my wrist. And on my wedding day, I wore a strapless dress. I, again, want to reiterate this because my gown was gorgeous. It really was, and it was such a blessing how it all happened. But looking back, I'm like, when you wear a strapless gown, you're constantly pulling it up. What you wear underneath, you really have to spend extra money on those kind of things. If you're getting married, in the summertime, it's nice because there's more airflow. But when you're sweating and constantly pulling that strapless gown up, it's just annoying. And when you're, saying your vows or dancing, the last thing you want to be doing is worrying about how you look, worrying about your dress, worrying about, the girls showing too much. And strapless gowns just tend to do that. No matter how deep the neckline, it's just not the most modest, which is okay. I mean, if that's your, if that's your thing or not. I wanted to be pretty modest on my wedding day. That's just how I am in general. But I'm like, looking back, I'm like, why did I wear a strapless gown? Like, that's not me. I wore strapless to like proms and dances in high school, and it was the same problem. So I already knew, and I just wasn't thinking, So I just want to say, wear and find the dress that you envision. And if you don't know what you want, I encourage you to try on something you think you totally won't like. Like if you think you're all about, mermaid tight fitted dress all the way down, I encourage you to try on a ball gown. Seriously, I tried on just a few dresses before I found the one. Like, I knew it was my wedding gown. So I know it's kind of weird to talk about because I loved it so much. But I did try on a few different kinds of dresses. I tried on satin, lace, tulle. I did try on one with sleeves, but the neckline went all the way down. And it was so not modest, so not what I wanted. So I was just like, nope, can't do sleeves. I don't know. I don't know what I was thinking. I probably would have rather worn a dress with sleeves, even though it was a warm-ish day. I think I just would have been more comfortable. I wouldn't have had to worry about the neckline coming up and down, dancing, and just throughout the day. And I think I would have just felt a little more like me, kind of that like organic bohemian style. Totally my jam. And I just would have liked to look a little bit more like me. So that's number one. And then the hair and makeup, kind of the same thing. I wish I would have looked more myself. I never wear false eyelashes, ever. Like, I used to, and probably right after I graduated high school, I got really into makeup and I was always wearing false eyelashes. But like, I never do that ever. So I kind of wish I would have worn maybe less dramatic lashes a little, or done a little bit less, I would say a little bit more light, like lighter colors, lighter shadows, lighter lip color. I still think I look like me. I just think I would have been more comfortable without having to be like, oh my gosh, talking to my girls, are my eyelashes still on? Because I cried a lot. You're gonna cry. If you think you're not gonna cry, you're wrong. You're going to cry during your ceremony. So make sure those lashes are on good. Make sure your makeup is crisp and clean, just how you want it, just how you like it. And if you are decent at your own makeup and you know how you like to look, I encourage you to do your own makeup. I really do. I know that sounds a little risky to some people. I didn't do my own makeup. One of my best friends did it, and I love the way she did it. I just think I wish I would have been more vocal about like, hey, I don't want this, or hey, I actually do want that. Just say what you want. And if you don't know what you want, then try different things. Same thing with my hair. I curled it myself, and the reason I had to do it myself is another regret I have that I'll get to in a second, but I curled it myself, didn't put any product in it, and I had just washed it the night before, and my curls were almost completely out by the time my ceremony started. So it kind of looked like I didn't do my hair. I did have a beautiful braid that my friend did for me, the same friend who did my makeup, but yeah. Just do trials. I did not do a makeup and hair trial. I guess we had somewhat of a makeup trial for my bridal shower. She did my makeup, but it was more just for fun. It wasn't really like a trial of how I wanted to look on my wedding day. I do wish I would have done that. So if you have the opportunity to do a makeup and hair trial, I encourage you to do like 2 or 3. Next thing is what I was saying about having to curl my own hair. So my second, I guess you could say, second category, second biggest regret was not getting ready in time. Yep. My ceremony was at 2:30 p.m. So I had all of my girls meet at my maid of honor's house at 7 a.m. and she lived about 30 minutes away from our venue. The hard thing that Jacob and I decided, my husband Jacob and I decided, was we didn't want to see each other at all until I walked down the aisle. We didn't want to do a first look, didn't want to see each other at all. That made it really hard to get pictures done. So and our venue didn't have anything indoor to like hide in or get ready in. So we got ready at my sister's house, and we all got there at 7 a.m. I made everybody breakfast. I kind of regret that too. Even though it was really nice to have a meal, make sure you eat. We spent too long eating and chatting, and then I gave the girls their gifts, and a couple of them had gifts for me, and it was just like, it was such a beautiful morning. I had so much peace. I was not stressed at all, like totally peaceful. But we spent so long chatting that it was like, once we had to get ready, it was like, oh my gosh, the photographer's here. Oh my gosh, the videographer's here. Oh my gosh, we gotta hurry. And then I started to get a little bit stressed. So it was like, boom, my makeup was done. And then I have like 2 girls in one bathroom getting ready, 2 girls in another bathroom getting ready, like other girls in the living room doing their makeup. And I was like, everybody looked beautiful. Seriously, everybody looked beautiful. The pictures were beautiful. But because we didn't start getting ready soon enough, we did not get enough pictures. I don't have any pictures of me and all of my girls dressed with hair and makeup done in their bridesmaids dresses and in my wedding gown. I don't have one picture. We just didn't have time. I have pictures of us ready like individually, like me and my sister, and then me and each of my bridesmaids, but I don't have like one large photo of all of us together, just the girls. I have one of the whole bridal party, like all the guys, all the girls, Jacob and I, and our flower girls. But yeah, I was really sad about that because I really wanted those shots with my girls, especially, you know, we're all dolled up. I really wanted those. So make sure you have a schedule, you have a plan, and get ready on time. That goes into my next regret, was not being more vocal about the types of photos I wanted with my photographer. She is amazing. She's one of our good family friends. I love her to death, and my photos are beautiful, okay? So I'm not bashing her one bit. What I am saying is I wish I was more vocal about like the types of photos I wanted. I wish I would have been like, look, be here at this time, and I want, you know, this picture with my girls, this picture with my girls, and this picture of the guys. Like, I wish I would have known what I wanted. I think I was just so caught up in the day. It goes by so fast, seriously, so fast. So I wish I just would have spent more time just focusing on what I wanted and the types of photos I wanted to look back on. So yeah, that's a little regret I have. I do have great photos though, I will say. So love you, Christine. I'll actually put her name in my description box below if you guys want to check her out. She's an awesome photographer in the Central Valley here in Northern California. Next regret is, if you're at my wedding, you probably already know what I'm about to say. Our DJ, you guys. Our DJ was a very nice man, and I'm not gonna say any names or his business name, nothing like that, because I'm not that kind of person. But it was definitely my biggest regret of my entire wedding day, my entire wedding planning process, everything. My DJ, I would have chosen a different one. And I'm sorry if you're watching this. So we heard about him through 2 other weddings we had gone to. 2 weddings we went to for our friends, and he was their DJ. He was awesome. He was a DJ and an MC. He was funny. He was like engaging with the crowd. He played awesome music. He wasn't like obnoxious or anything. He was just awesome. And I was like, oh my gosh, babe, we should, you know, go see what his prices are. His prices were pretty reasonable. And so we booked him because we heard him play and he was awesome. For some reason, he wasn't awesome on our wedding day. He was awful. He showed up 4 hours late. You heard me right, 4 hours. We asked him to be there at 10 a.m. even though the ceremony wasn't until 2:30 because he had tons of, you know, equipment. So, and we had to run extension cords because our ceremony was like way farther away from where he was going to be set up during the reception, so we knew we were going to have to run extension cords. He came out to the venue with us to like do a walkthrough of the venue to see where he'd be setting up. So he was prepared, and I was prepared. I had every single name written down for everybody he had to announce, you know, like bride and groom, all my bridesmaids, all the groomsmen, all the parents, the officiant, everybody. I had everything written down. I had every song for every person. I had every song for every minute. Like, I'm a planner. I was good to go. I made copies for him, everything. When the wedding day came, he didn't have anything. He didn't bring the stuff I gave him. He didn't know anybody's names. So when they announced the bridal party, you know, to open the reception, he goes, "Give it up for the bridal party." And he didn't. We were supposed to have names like, you know, I'll use my sister for an example. It was supposed to be, "Give it up for maid of honor, Rachel, and best man, Josh." And no, he said, "Give it up for the bridal party." And then everybody walked out in this like group, which honestly wasn't a big deal, but it was just annoying because I was prepared as a bride who is getting married and who's stressing planning her own wedding. But the DJ, he didn't show up until about 2:15. And reminder, our ceremony was supposed to start at 2:30. You know, the DJ is kind of the heartbeat of the whole day. Like, the schedule goes off of the music to a T. So the fact that he wasn't there on time could have ruined everything. I didn't let it. My bridal party and my husband did an awesome job because they didn't tell me what was going on. So I was actually sitting in a little trailer waiting for the reception to start like an hour before I was waiting in a trailer about an hour before the ceremony was supposed to start. And the people who loaned us the trailer forgot to open the windows, and I was so sweaty. Like, I was so hot. And so that was really hard, but nobody told me the DJ wasn't there. I did notice there wasn't any music playing, but I wasn't really thinking about it because I was just like, you know, focused on, you know, not sweating too much, making sure my makeup and hair is good, like trying to breathe. I was, you know, nervous, so wasn't focused on that too much. And so I'm really thankful nobody told me that that went wrong, because it wasn't like on my mind while I was walking down the aisle. But we did start the ceremony about a half hour late, which is kind of normal, so that didn't bother me. And some of our guests were a little late, so I gave them time to find their seats, which was fine. But then, and little did I know, you know, behind the scenes, my husband, who should have been totally relaxed and just chilling until the ceremony, he was moving like the big wine barrels. We use those for our aisle, and we use them as like cocktail tables during the reception. He was like rolling them across the venue to help the DJ set up his equipment. He shouldn't have been doing that. He was all sweaty before the ceremony started. Like, it was so bad. If you were at my wedding, you probably wouldn't have known that, because like everybody was so calm, and we had awesome, like the staff at the venue was amazing. They were super helpful, but they were really mad at the DJ too. The DJ never apologized for being late. He never told us why he was late, at least on the day of. We confronted him later on, and that's a whole nother story, but we paid for him to bring his girlfriend to also come because they were about to get engaged, and I was like, you should bring her. Like, I will definitely pay for her plate. I just like wanted to be nice, and he was traveling to get there. So yeah, they were 4 hours late. When the reception started, we wanted like jazz music to play. Not really jazz, kind of oldies like Frank Sinatra, and just like fun, like things that are upbeat, but you can eat too, you know. And he was playing elevator music. I kid you not, like full on elevator music. And I'm sitting there eating my food, and I was like, what are we listening to? And I wasn't too focused on it. I was just kind of frustrated because I had just found out how late he was when the reception started. Like, nobody told me till later. Oh my gosh, I was so annoyed. So thankfully I had an awesome bridal party. They went over and were like, hey, play Frank Sinatra, hey, play, you know, Ella Fitzgerald or whatever, like whatever music I wanted. And from then on, it got a lot better. He played better music. I was just annoyed. All that to say, make sure you know what you're getting yourself into with your vendors. I know, we're all human, we all make mistakes, but being 4 hours late, and he wasn't answering his phone. I did not mention that. My husband was calling him. We had a ton of people trying to call him. He wasn't answering on our freaking wedding day. I have grace. We forgave him. Got a little bit of our money back because we paid for, a certain amount of hours, and he was 4 hours late. So got some of our money back. So I just encourage you to do your research on your vendors, make sure they have experience, if you care about that kind of thing. And yeah, do your research, because that was really stressful for a while, more so for my husband, because I didn't know about a lot of what was going on. Thankfully, they didn't want to stress me out. I had an awesome bridal party. Get yourself an awesome bridal party. This will probably be my last one. So I think that was 5. I don't know. We did not have an event planner or a wedding coordinator or any help professionally. We planned everything ourselves. We booked everything ourselves. Don't get me wrong, we were so blessed. We had a lot of things handed to us, given to us. We got a lot of great deals on our vendors. We were very blessed financially. We had a lot of help. I was like, I'm gonna plan my own wedding. I'm in the wedding industry. I got this. I think I underestimated how much really goes into planning your own wedding. And about 2 or 3 months before the wedding, I was like, I need a coordinator. I wanted a day of coordinators. So we hired we actually didn't hire. She did it for free. A family friend, which was a huge blessing. She helped so much. Seriously, she decorated the whole reception. She was so helpful. She gave us so much stuff to use because she helps out her family. She does little events here and there. So she had a ton of stuff. And she's amazing and I love her. So again, nothing against her, but I wish I would have had more help before the day of the wedding. I wish I would have had more help just telling somebody what I want and then them helping me reach my goal of what I want. The colors, my hair and makeup, the vendors, we just talked about the DJ. I just wish I would have had more professional help, and I definitely would have paid that extra money to have that. So if you don't have a coordinator, if you have a ton of help, that's totally cool. I'm not saying you have to have a coordinator, but you might need it. We invited 160 people-ish. We planned for 150, but we know, that much doesn't actually show up. I think we had about 130, I would say. So fairly average, small to average, I would say, compared to weddings these days. And even though it might not seem like a ton of people, it's still a lot of work. You're setting up every single chair. Well, if your venue doesn't, ours didn't. So we had to do pretty much everything ourselves. You're setting up every chair, every plate, every flower, every bouquet, every linen, every napkin, every piece of silverware. It's a lot of work. So I would just encourage you to have a coordinator. That's something I regret not having beforehand, just to help me vocalize what I want, which I kind of already mentioned a few times. But I wish I would have really known what I want. I think I was just so excited to marry Jacob that I didn't think about this big dream wedding. I really just wanted to be his wife, and I really wanted a simple wedding. And if I could redo it, I would still do it simple, because that's just how I am. But I wish I would have thought about the little details a little more, and I wish I would have thought about the lace sleeves I always dreamt of, and I wish I would have thought more into the flowers. I did baby's breath and eucalyptus and a lot of greenery. I did that a lot, and it was so beautiful. But I wish I would have added maybe some more flowers to my own bouquet. Little things like that, little details that you notice in pictures. In hindsight, when you look back, you'll notice them in the pictures. That is I think it was 5. I honestly don't know, but I think it was 5. My top 5 biggest regrets when planning my wedding and on my wedding day. If I had a do-over, you guys, I would have done a smaller wedding, more intimate, maybe like 75 people, honestly. And I loved my venue, definitely would have had the same venue. And then I just wish I would have kept things more simple with my look and paid attention to the photos I wanted, because those are really special to look back on. I will say, on total opposite side of what we're talking about here, I think one of my best decisions I made as far as vendors go was booking a videographer. Everybody I talked to who was married before me, they all said the same thing. They all said, that is the one thing I regret about my wedding. I wish I would have had a videographer, because pictures are amazing. Seriously, it's one of my biggest regrets. But having like video footage of your wedding day, it's like you get to relive it every time you watch it. So I love our wedding video. We have a short clip, which is on my Instagram. I will go ahead and post my Instagram right here. It's on my IGTV. It's beautiful. It's like a social media highlight. But we actually have a full days of footage on a hard drive from our videographer, and it's like over 30 minutes. It's pretty much the whole day. It's like nearly the whole ceremony, and then glimpses of people during the reception and dancing and cake cutting and the bouquet toss and the oh my gosh, UPS is here. I think my package is here. What was I saying? Having a videographer is the one thing I knew I wanted to splurge on, because we were on a budget. We had a beautiful wedding, but we were on a budget. I will say, even if I had a smaller wedding, I would splurge every time on a videographer. That would be the one vendor I would splurge on. That's all my tips I have for you. If you're a bride, if you are engaged, or if you're planning your wedding, congratulations. I'm so excited for you. It truly is the best day ever. I encourage you to really soak in every moment. I know everybody says this, it's cliche, it's annoying, but it flies by. It will go by so fast. From the moment you wake up on your wedding day to the moment you drive off or fly off to your honeymoon, it goes so fast, seriously. So soak in every second, hug all of your family, dance the night away. Don't drink too much. Seriously, you want to remember this day. Just have fun, be yourself. And congratulations on getting married. I'm really excited for you guys. And if you are engaged during this global pandemic, I can't even imagine what you guys are going through. If you've had to reschedule your wedding, or if you've had to elope and plan a reception for next year or later on, I will be praying for you guys. Seriously, I know how stressful that could be. Just anything that changes when you're planning a wedding, if you have a plan and then it shifts a little, I know how stressful that can be. So I feel for you guys. I'll be praying for you guys. If you have any questions about any of the vendors I had besides my DJ, I would be happy to give you more information on them. And I'll do my best to tag the photographer and videographer, at least in this video, in the description box down below. I will link my Instagram right over here, or maybe it's right over here. I don't remember what side I put it on. If you guys want to follow me over there, I post a lot of content. And if you have any questions about anything wedding related, or really anything, feel free to DM me. I'm an open book. Again, congrats if you're getting married, and that'll be all for today's video. Don't forget to like and subscribe and comment below if you have any prayer requests, you guys. I can't reiterate that enough. I would love to pray for you guys, especially during this time. I'm sure all of you have at least one prayer request. So again, thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye.